Hello, my name is Patrick Brown, Mayor of Brampton, and I'm here with Councillor Michael Palesci and Carmen Spada to celebrate the closing of Italian Heritage Month. On a personal level, my wife is Italian. Both her parents were born in Italy, and their first language is Italian. And believe it or not, with the last name Brown, you probably don't think I'm Italian, but my mother, her maiden name is Tascona, and her heritage is from Sicily. So when we celebrate Italian Heritage Month, I think of my own heritage and ancestry as we celebrate the vibrant Italian culture in our city.
We were able to do this last year in front of a number of Italian Canadians here in Brampton. Unfortunately, we can't do that this year because of COVID. But what we're doing instead, we're doing flag raising virtually here for you. We're going to have some interviews showcasing some great Italian cuisine. So stay tuned and let's raise the flag.
My name is Carmen Spada. I'm here in downtown Brampton in beautiful Gage Park with Mayor Patrick Brown and Councillor Michael Palesci. We're wrapping up what's been a wonderful Italian Heritage Month and want to remind you all to hashtag support local Brampton. We've got so many wonderful restaurants and bakeries in this city, and it's been great to get to know so many of these people over this month. Now, Mayor Brown, I think we can attest your fair hair to the Brown side of your family, but we'll give the good looks to the Tascona side. I think a lot of people may not know that you're half Italian.
Yeah, I'm half Irish, half Italian. My father is Irish English, but my mother, her side of the family is from Sicily. So her maiden name is Tascona, and I think through marriage I'm becoming more Italian.
Yeah, that's right.
Because my wife is very proud of her Italian heritage. Both her parents were born in Italy. Their first language is Italian, and my father-in-law grew up in Abruzzi, and my mother-in-law is Calabrese.
Yeah. Now, how are you with the hand sign part of the language? Are you like?
I need a lot of practice to be able to be more emotive with my hands, but I'm very good at enjoying Italian cuisine, and my mother-in-law is pretty amazing at her.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, I get the pictures. I'm just waiting for the invite, but I see the pictures. Now, Mayor Brown, you've served at every level of government, and I'm sure with that experience, you've come to meet hundreds, if not thousands of people, especially in our province and in our country. Do you have a story of, say, one or two, say, Italian immigrants or an Italian success story that kind of really touched you across your career of meeting people and?
Well, there's so many giants in the Italian-Canadian community who have helped build our country. When I first got involved in public service, one of my mentors was former Senator Condonino. And Condonino was a giant in the Italian-Canadian community. Whether it was helping build a number of the Italian institutions in the GTA, or taking a leadership level on a national level. And so Con has just been wonderful, introducing me to so many wonderful people in the Italian-Canadian family. But in terms of what I've seen in the different levels of government is you see a proud Italian community in every aspect of this country. And you see them contributing in such a positive fashion. But there are some examples where it goes beyond mere contributions to being, those that have really shaped the city. I think of Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury. If you look at the initial migration to Canada, a lot of our northern communities were built by Italian Canadians, and now the city, we think of Vaughan having a huge Italian community, but you go to some of these northern Ontario communities and you see it very evidently. I spent a lot of time in Sault Ste. Marie. We had a provincial by-election there where I spent a few months. They can give my mother-in-law's cooking a run for their money. There is some amazing long-standing Italian restaurants, Italian Canadians that have shaped that wonderful city.
Well, that's where my namesake, the Spadas, emigrated to Sault Ste. Marie. My dad's from there, my grandparents, and the Esposito brothers, the Di Pietros, you know, so a lot of good Italian food, but great Italian athletes out of there too. So yeah, I know it well. Now, Councilor Palesci, you know, we're across the street from Vesuvios here.
Speaking of Italian cuisine, one of the greatest Italian restaurants in Brampton. Been here a long time. As you know, I was born and raised in the city, and I can tell you Vesuvios was the very first place that ever introduced me to veal parmigiana, which was one of my ultimate favorite. It's my go-to Italian cuisines, and going there when I was a kid, when John was running Vesuvios, was just a fantastic experience. And I know that you went there, you had an opportunity to talk to the chef.
My question for you is that we're in there eating carbonara, eating pizza napoletana, and you're not there. So, you know, like, how do you miss an opportunity like that?
I tell you the truth, Carmen, I don't recall seeing the invite go through.
Okay. See,
but I know that you did a video of that. I think we have that teed up. Let's watch that video.
All right. Ciao a tutti. Hi, everybody. We're here at Mount Vesuvio Ristorante in downtown Brampton, 91 George Street South. Hashtag support local Brampton. Mount Vesuvios has been here for a long time. They're a staple in our community for Italian food and is owned by my good buddy Maurizio D'Acunto, originally from Scauri on the west side of Italy, close to Napoli. And he's brought a lot of those home recipes and concepts of Neapolitan cooking to the restaurant here. Today we're joined by my good buddy here, Chef Mike, in the restaurant, and he's gonna lead us through the Neapolitan style of pizza, la pizza napoletana, or as the way they say it in Long Island, New York, the Napoletan. So we're gonna go through the Napoletan pizza. Mike, good to see you, and take us through.
Okay, so basically Neapolitan style pizza is it's basically simple. It's 4 ingredients. It's double loaf flour, water, preferably cold, fresh yeast, salt. So the process to make it is really quite simple. You just have, it's a 65% water ratio to flour. And what makes it Neapolitan style is also how long you're letting it sit. So it takes normally about 10 to 12 hours when you make the dough, and then from there you roll it, give it about 2 to 4 hours, and it's ready to go.
All right.
Okay, so very straightforward. You know, you just
kneading it out.
Yeah, you always want to do the perimeter first, because the center, as soon as you lift up the dough, the center is gonna be stretching. So normally this should take like 1 minute.
Well, depends how old you are, right?
Yeah.
My nonnas, they're good still, but they, you know, the bursitis and the arthritis slows them down a little bit. But you move. Now, how do you find the Brampton water? Is it good in the dough?
Well, yeah, like the best thing is really just cold water, because you kind of want to let it slowly ferment. If you do it too quickly, it's gonna proof up, and it's only gonna last.
Because if you don't like the water, I know some regional councils, we can get some softener in there if it's a little too hard. If it's hurting the pizza, we can make a few phone calls over there and, you know, fix the water for the Napoletan. All right.
So we're just gonna make a very simple pizza. It's gonna be just cheese, fleur de latte, and then we're gonna cook it and then top it off with fresh prosciutto with arugula and Parmesan.
Nice, wonderful.
Okay. So now the tricky part, when it's always, because there's no base, you always want to make sure this has to be a quick process when you're doing this.
You mean putting it in the oven?
Yeah, and even on this paddle, because you don't want it to get stuck.
You got that? You got a close up of that there, right in the back. So tricky. So this is going to stay in here for about what, a minute tops?
Yeah, like I will say normally 30 seconds.
Right.
You can leave it by itself 30 seconds, but after that, you have to watch it.
30 seconds, and this is sitting at like 800 degrees.
Yeah,
right?
And then for the next minute, that's you have to spend 1 minute literally looking at the pizza, turning it, making sure the bottom's cooked, making sure you have a nice color around it. Looking good.
And keep it moving. Now that's stone, right? The oven's stone base, and this oven's being heated by natural gas right now.
Yes.
And I remember when this oven was created here in the restaurant, because this is actually a mechanism from Italy that's heating this oven. It's a digital display, so he can turn that heat up and down just by punching a pad, basically. And look at that. You want to hold that up there? Look at that. That's just
almost
the base.
done, halfway.
Now don't put that in a bag and sell it at Freshco, okay? That's no way. Mount Vesuvio Ristorante, 91 George Street South, folks. Hashtag support local Brampton to get these kind of products and this kind of preparation and skill. So chef, so what's your approach to making your doughs? This is an every morning kind of thing. On the weekends, are you here at 5 o'clock, you know, throwing doughs in the air, or you prepping them? What's your approach to making this many doughs?
Every morning we prepare it. So what I try to do is we always have some dough ready, and then every morning I prep for either the next day. The dough can last about 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
Right after that, just throw it out because it's gonna be really too soft, and when you cook it, it's gonna be more like a pancake. Right? So yeah, here we make it almost every day, the weekends especially. We're cooking, it's probably like maybe 10 pounds of flour, so then you're talking about maybe 40 to 60 pizzas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And especially Friday to Saturday, yeah.
And you're beating the heat, you're in here sweating with this on your back and everything. Wow, awesome. So chef, in my house, we fight for all the little burn pieces and all the little dark spots because although it looks burnt, they're so crispy and so thin. You know, even in lasagna, we get it on the top. That's what we love, you know? Some people don't know how to appreciate that. You do. What's the concept?
Yeah, like it basically those little black spots is what you can tell, like that's the fermentation process. So with the double loaf flour, the biggest thing is when it ferments, it won't burn as fast as traditional flour and like all-purpose flour. So the fermentation process will, that 10 to 12 hours, you let it grow and ferment. It gives that different flavor, and that's what Neapolitan style pizza is. And those spots is basically the signature of Neapolitan style pizza.
Awesome. La Pizza Napoletana, Mount Vesuvio Ristorante, 91 George Street South, downtown Brampton. Hashtag support local Brampton. Hope to see you all here. Hey everyone, in the kitchen here at Mount Vesuvio Ristorante, 91 George Street South. Hashtag support local Brampton. Here with Chef Mike, and he's gonna make a very simple pasta dish, but one of my favorites and one of the tastiest. Although it's simple, this is one of the most tastiest dishes, and this is la pasta carbonara, right? So walk us through.
Okay, first thing, we should put the pasta right away.
Into the water.
Yeah.
Into the boiling water.
Boiling water, salt, already added.
So you're using bacon today.
Yeah, a little bit of oil. Yeah, not too much because this dish you have to cook it, it's cooking it low, right? You have 8 minutes, so you cook it low.
And the reason it's delicious, you got salt in the pork, you got salt in the water, so you imagine all that salt.
Okay, this will take about 2 minutes.
Good.
Yeah, so by the time that's ready, I'm gonna start cracking the egg. It's a lot easier doing it separately, so you don't get any
shell in the pasta, right? And you're gonna make this mix now, and you're gonna throw that on at the very end?
At the end.
At the very end, all right.
And now, when you render off a little bit of the fat from the pork, now you add onion. And you just wanna cook down the onion before anything. These are smaller yolks, so I might have to use 2 for 1.
The guanciale, the pork cheek. Eh?
Yeah.
We use everything, man. Nothing goes to waste.
So with the pasta, you don't want to cook it all the way in the water. So the last 2 minutes, we're gonna cook it in the pan.
So you actually throw it into the pan.
Yeah, and then we're gonna cook it in the pan. So then you can get the right consistency that you want.
All right, so pasta's coming out of the water, and it's gonna go into the pan. But nice thing is, at least the pasta will now soak up all that oil and everything in the pan.
This is why you wanna salt the water, because that's also what's gonna give the flavor.
Nice, nice.
And in this part, this is what's gonna take a little bit more.
Yeah. So
time.
basically, you're doing this. There's the raw egg,
Yeah.
and that's now going to cook in that
and
pasta.
then you mix
basically.
it. And then this is when you gotta start. With this, you do not want scrambled eggs with pasta.
That's right.
Right?
That's a good point. I've seen that too many times. See, I would eat that right out of the pan because all that sugo is left in the pan. There's all that sauce and all that good stuff. So I generally eat stuff right out of the pan. And then the best part is you take bread after and you clean the dish up. You clean the pan up, sorry. So a little savage like that, you know? So if you're gonna serve this to me, just give me the pan out there. They can eat the pasta, I'll lick the pan. Look at that.
And this is pasta alla carbonara.
Traditional Italian cooking right here in downtown Brampton, 91 George Street South, Mount Vesuvio Ristorante. Hashtag support local Brampton. Hope to see you all here. Chef Mike, grazie. Siamo pronti a mangiare. Chef Mike, thank you so much. Salute. Thank you for your great work and hospitality here at Mount Vesuvio Ristorante, 91 George Street South. I also want to thank owner Maurizio D'Acunto. Everybody, hashtag support local Brampton. We couldn't do live Italian Heritage Month and flag raising this year, so we're coming to you online, and hope you can taste this online. And the way you do that, you order through these guys, pick up curbside, and support local Brampton. Let's try the carbonara. È buono. The way we say my è buono. Questo è buono. È buono. Like the salt. You can really taste it. That's great. Now I gotta try a piece of that bacon. Good.
And a
Wonderful
lot
job.
of it from the capers too.
Yeah, no, I know. You're sneaking it in there. La pizza napoletana. Thank you, Chef Mike. Let's try this. I don't know where that came a thing in Italy. It means good. Buono, man. I lost the best part. Arugula, eh? Something so misunderstood.
It's the bitterness, right? It's like so much, essentially like so much cheese, the fat and everything. You kind of need something to mile it down, add a little bit freshness to it, right? And that's what the arugula is doing.
Thank you, Chef Mike.
No problem.
Wonderful job. Buon appetito, everybody. Hashtag support local Brampton.
So that looked really good.
Oh, yeah.
There's some taste there. Tell us about it.
Well, carbonara is one of my favorite dishes because growing up, we ate so much tomato sauce, sugo we say in Italian, that when you get to be a teenager, whatever, you've eaten it for so long, you don't mind missing it anymore. Plus the ulcers from the tomatoes killed me as a young person. So now I'm more into the Alfredo sauces, the aliolios. And so to eat the carbonara like that with the, the bacon and the salt from the sea salt, everything salty, it's just wonderful, And the Napoletan pizza, what's unique about the way Vesuvios does it, we mentioned that, was that they have, what used to be brick oven fire, fire at the back of the brick oven with actual wood. Now it's an open flame of like natural gas, and it's all digital display. It's controllable. They can go from 800 to 1200 degrees in a touch of a button. So pizza's done.
I love how it doesn't take the taste away from that though. You get the good char on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
You get the non-flop. You get a good Italian pizza.
Keep it
for
moving.
sure.
He's done it in say a minute and a half, and that actual burner was all imported from Italy. So we have something special right here in our downtown, and we were glad to bring some light to it.
Yeah,
Pretty
no,
lucky it's so
Vesuvios-
close to City Hall.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It is really. No, Vesuvios is a pillar in the city of Brampton. Been here a long time and absolutely loved going to that place.
Well, we left, drove up to Ward 2.
Yep.
You're the regional councilor now here?
Ward 2 and 6 here.
Went to Antica Osteria. We ate homemade gnocchi with sea bass, little mascarpone dessert, and you still weren't there. So you're missing these meals, and I don't know if it's a text issue, I don't know if it's a firewall with the city emails.
It obviously is because I sent you the text saying golf shirt and shorts today, and you still showed up.
Yeah, there's IT. If we can get you guys to check this out on the edit side, we're not communicating here.
And I can verify Michael Pileshi has never missed an invite to Antica.
No,
Yeah.
no, never. But we have that teed up. Let's have a look.
Hey everyone, we're here at Antica Osteria, Italian Ristorante, 3088 Mayfield Road, hashtag support local Brampton. We've got Chef Arturro Lazzini from Riccione, Italy.
No, che Riccione, Rimini.
Da Rimini, allora that means che lui porta il bici. You ride your bike?
Per forza.
He came here on his bike all the way from Rimini, east coast of Italy. Chef, che cosa ne prepariamo oggi? What are we making today?
Oggi niente, facciamo una specialità di pesce dove facciamo dei gnocchi con ragù di spigola, lemon, menta, salsa, con cherry tomato saltato in padella in crosta. Facciamo la preparazione.
All right.
Mettiamo un goccio d'olio, sì,
Little bit of olive oil in the pan.
e poi lo mettiamo a riscaldare sul fuoco.
Gonna heat that up,
Mettiamo i pacchi di gnocchi.
and we're getting gnocchi, folks. Allora, chef, dimmi when your nonna made gnocchi,
5 minuti. I gnocchi sono fatti in casa.
They're homemade
La qualità-
gnocchi?
Yeah, la homemade gnocchi. La qualità di pasta noi diamo da 150 a 180 grammi.
150 to 180 gram serving is what he's serving out. E questa è la ricetta di nonna?
Questa è la ricetta che ha fatto la nonna una volta.
This is his grandmother's
Allora,
recipe.
Buttiamo giù i gnocchi
Here they are.
nell'acqua salata.
We're gonna throw those in the
e
salted
bollicone.
water and giddy up.
Poi
E
ci
che
mettiamo-
pesce ne abbiamo qui?
Questo è un filetto di branzino.
Bronzino e che cosa?
Una spigola fresca, un sea bass, fresh sea bass.
Sea bass.
Allora prepariamo aglio, olio e un po' di limone.
Oil, garlic, little bit of lemon in there, heating up. Quando anni aveva in Italia when you first started cooking? How old were you when you first started cooking
Sono
back home?
33 anni che faccio questo lavoro.
33 years he's been a cook, so do the math, folks. He started when he was 3 years old. A 3 anni iniziava a cucinare, eh?
Quasi quasi,
Yeah.
appena nato.
As soon as he was born, he said.
Niente, ci manchiamo un pochettino, poi ci mettiamo un po' di vino bianco. Ce
Little
l'abbiamo.
white wine.
Andiamo a sfumare. Wine bianco.
E fa anche una goccia?
Una goccia di... No.
No, he doesn't take the shot of wine
Tutti
in.
non devono bere.
Oh,
devono essere...
Chefs should not be cooking, he
Mettiamo
said.
un tocco di burro per far amalgamare, che adesso mettiamo...
Little butter in there.
Quando i gnocchi sono pronti, noi andiamo in cottura adesso.
Checking the gnocchi. Prezzemole?
Menta e
Oh no, that's mint.
right?
Mint, folks, mint.
No prezzemolo, mint.
Mint,
Noi
mint.
usiamo il prezzemolo. Mettiamo un filo di succo di limone.
Lemon, that's squeezed lemons, lemon juice.
E adesso ci prepariamo per fare il piatto.
Il caldo qui come Rimini. It's hot back here like Rimini. Check this out. Water from the pasta. Throw that in there. There's a trick
E
I
ci
bet you didn't
mettiamo
know.
un filetto di spigola di sea bass
Sea bass going in the little sughetto
alla
there.
fine cottura, che quando è pronto è cottura. Un minuto. Fai cuocere, vale ancora un minuto. Un filo d'olio di oliva.
Little olive oil. E quando cucina, chef, tu canti o non canti?
No, io non canto.
Non canto, allora canto io. C'è la luna, mezzo mare, mamma. No, vabbè.
Ok, questi sono i gnocchi.
Here's your gnocchi, folks. Look at that.
Ci mettiamo un goccio d'acqua della pasta sempre.
So he's getting the hot water from the pasta
Di
again.
dentro, no?
E questo, perché fai questo? Why do you do that? Why do you take the hot water from the pasta?
Perché la pasta quando si cuoce l'acqua assorbe tutta l'umidità della pasta e tutto l'amido che c'ha la pasta dentro, visto che è una pasta fresca.
So he's saying that the hot water of the pasta takes the starch and takes the humidity and takes all the goodness out of the fresh pasta, puts it in the water. So that's why he
Se tu
puts it
vai
in
a
that.
vedere adesso, poi sono i gnocchi praticamente che vengono cremosi.
Look at that.
Vedi che c'è la crema dentro. Non hanno bisogno di nient'altro, un cucchiaio per favore.
Now you need a spoon.
Ok.
So I get the kid size and he gets the adult size. You see that?
Goccia d'olio di oliva crudo, lo mettiamo nostro. adesso.
Look at
E
that.
un pizzico di pepe.
Chef, ti voglio dire una cosa. When I was small, my favorite thing to do with bread was clean the pan. A me mi piace di pulire la
È
pentola
la più
dopo
buona
mangiare.
che c'è.
So do me a favor, give me the pan and you can have the pasta, all right?
Adesso io te la faccio
Eh.
assaggiare qua.
Look at that.
Ok, questo è for you.
This is for me, thank you.
Com'è?
Buonissimo, limone. I taste the lemon. Great flavor. Il pesce, mo. Il pesce
Non
è
cotto.
morbido. No, nice
Perché
and
non è cotto,
it's-
è appena cotto la
so it's
cottura.
very raw. It's very lightly cooked. You can taste it, but it melts in your mouth. Come burro, beautiful, you know.
Cremoso, diventa burro.
So then, like I said, I take my bread, I take my spoon, I eat the soup. This is the sughetto.
È la migliore.
Wonderful. Grazie, chef. Thank you guys so much.
Grazie a voi.
Antica Osteria, Italian Ristorante, 3088 Mayfield Road. # support local Brampton. All right, it looks like it's time to eat. I just want a couple words here with manager Angela Greco here at Antica Osteria. Angela, thank you for your family's dedication to Brampton. You guys have been at this location for almost 15 years.
Yeah, we'll be about 15 years.
Wow. I remember when you first opened, your parents gave me one of my very first gigs in Brampton as a piano player, playing right in front of that window. The walls were yellow. There's
Yep.
big wine cabinets here, and you guys are still here. Thank you for your commitment.
Thank
you know,
you.
it's a tough business, and you guys have hung on, and especially through these tough times.
Yes.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about what you've learned in the business, but also your family morals and ideals getting you to this point. Some of the sacrifices and the kind of the Italian story to get this way. So
Yeah, for a very long time, from what I remember, my parents have always worked very hard, as well, working from morning till night. I was still a teenager when they were in here, and I saw probably only them for an hour at night and a few hours in the morning, so dedication for sure. As well, a lot of our fresh vegetables and our fresh eggs, which are in that dessert right there, is all farm to table, so right from our family's farm, right from our chicken coop. So a lot of sweat for sure in our business here.
yeah, I want to highlight that one more time because I don't know if a
Yes.
lot of people caught it. I just learned this recently that literally so much of the food being served in the restaurant here is coming from the family farm. So the eggs in the homemade pasta, in the desserts, and we just saw your dad walking in with like 6 flats of eggs. Some of the produce, right?
Yes,
coming
yes.
right from the farm. So
Right
that's
from our farm, yeah.
so unique and special to have that here in Brampton. And this truly is a family business. I mean, your parents opened this.
Yeah.
You're managing. You've got who else? Your brother.
I've got my brother. He's been here since we've opened. I have my niece that jumped on board 2 years ago, and we've got a lot more in the family to grow for many years here in Brampton.
And that's what the Italians are all about. Family, food, more food, less family, you kick them out, and then just more food. So,
that's it, yep.
All right.
And good wine.
And good wine, yeah. Are we allowed to say that on this weekend? Yeah, all right, good wine, yeah. So should we try a little bit then?
Let's try
all
it.
right.
Buon appetito.
Thank you.
Lots of flavors here.
Yeah, and they do this in Italy when it's good, right? This whole thing, I don't know about è buono. But I love how tender the fish is, and
Yes.
Chef was saying that it's almost raw. He cooks it, so little to keep it morbida,
Yeah.
very tender. So
Always keep in mind too, it still cooks while it's in the dish
Right.
as well, because it's nice and hot, right?
yeah, and the lemon, you can taste the lemon zest in there and everything.
Yep. Nice colors too.
Yeah.
I want to wish everyone a happy Italian Heritage Month from our family to yours. Salute.
Salud. Thank you for that. Folks, Antica Osteria, Italia Ristorante, 3088 Mayfield Road. # support local brand.
Again, that was
Yeah, it was good.
unbelievable.
Gnocchi with sea bass. The gnocchi are homemade in the restaurant with eggs from the Greco farm just up the road. And we mentioned that a lot of their food is farm to table. So if you guys are going there for the pasta, just know that all of that homemade pasta is coming from local eggs. It was wonderful. We had a great time. Great family, the Greco family too. So accommodating. They've been there for 15 years, and glad to have them in Ward 2.
Did you see the cheese wheel? Did they show you the big cheese wheel?
Yeah,
that they do
we
with
were
the
looking for the
pasta?
soup in there and everything. There was a couple assistants looking for some stuff, but you can't eat that with a mask on, so we're gonna have to go back.
You talk about freshness, Carmen, and I can tell you one of the things about Antica is it's really important to have fresh cuisine on their table. You can't go there day in and day out and get some of those pillar on the wall. You see the writing of all the specials
Right.
that are happening. Those specials are constantly changing because they do care about freshness, and that's really important to all the Italian community.
Yeah, well, it's a story of our hair. I mean, that's the food we ate. It's coming right from the backyard, and for them, as I said, it's coming right up the street from their garden. So I think, or from their farm.
Yep.
So I think it's great that we have something like that in the community. Mayor Brown, I wanted to speak to you about a local resident as well. 88 years old. This man is a bricklayer, and in the 60s and 70s led a movement in Ontario to build basically workers' unions for construction workers, residential and commercial. He's gone on to release a few books about this experience, the amount of Italian immigrants who died from unsafe workplace. And he also erected a monument in 2016 at the Columbus Center in Toronto. So I thought maybe you could highlight some of
I think it's fair to say that Marino Toppan is a Brampton legend, and his drive and determination to remember fallen Italian workers is something that has been an inspiration. I can't wait till we have his book in the Brampton library, and we're just so grateful to have someone of his passion and determination in our Brampton family.
Yeah, no, it's great, and actually my wife has a degree in Italian studies, and so we brought her along for this segment because she knew a lot of Marino's work and his background, and so we're going to listen to Catherine Spada and Marino Toppan in this next segment.
In continuation with the City of Brampton's Italian Heritage Month, it's a privilege and honor to be here with Cavaliere Marino Toppan to talk about his contribution to the nation through his work in the construction industry of Toronto. And Marino has been so gracious with his time to share with us some of the hardships, struggles, triumphs, tragedies of the Italian immigrants in Canada. So it's such an honor to be with you today.
My pleasure, thank you.
And Marino, thank you on behalf of my generation of Italians for your contribution and all your hard work and your sacrifice. I think, coming at this from a personal experience as well, being the daughter of an Italian immigrant, it takes on a different layer to be sitting with someone, a forefather, who's come here with very little and made and built up the ground that we're on, literally. So if you could just share with us some of your stories and Right. And now, what were the conditions like pre-union?
The conditions we found that's not what I expected. The hardship, the working condition, the discrimination we found there, it was the difficulty of work, finding a job was immense, but the work itself was very hard. I work as a bricklayer here. Mm-hmm. Bricklaying is a nice profession, but the way that they made you work here, the speed, the production, the number of bricks you have to lay at the end of the day, it was making it impossible. It was very hard. But the hardest part was to get paid after, because at the end of the week, you get paid with a check that bounced back, non-sufficient funds. But that eventually, the other things was the safety, the casualty, the work-related accidents that were occurring every week. I had to go to funerals of friends of mine, members of the Italian community. They were killed on the job. And we were going to the funeral, cry, try to console, comfort the relatives, but then everything's forgotten. The day after we go back to work, the same danger, nothing improved. To the point that then in 1960, we said we are not going to take any more of this, and we had a strike. We paralyzed the city of Toronto in 1960 for 3 weeks, in 1961 for 7 weeks. Nothing worked in the residential construction fields of Toronto. That was it's called the Immigrants' Rebellion, the revolt of the Italians. It was the strikes of the Italians. Italians, we are well known for being hard workers, and we can take it and take it and take it until we say no more.
Right.
And that's what we did. And we have done the beginning. That was the beginning of the unions for us. The spark that was causing this was when the Hogs Hollow occurred in March of 1960, when 5 of our compatriots were killed, buried in a tunnel on Yonge Street in Royal York. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. And we had a strike, and we organized, and we really got organized. The unions then had not many members, but look at the unions now.
Right.
Now the unions are real powers. They are in a position to train the people. We didn't have facility to train. We were able to get some sort of training to the new immigrant that came here without a trade through Costi. Costi, as you know, used to be La Casa d'Italia before the war, confiscated by the Italian government and the Canadian government, pardon me, and then the Mountie police lived there until when they had a new building. Then the building was abandoned and was given back to us in 1960 or 61. And then it was no one window was intact. The place was infested with mice. It was dirty. It was bombs were living there for years. The place used to be abandoned, but we made it a beautiful center called Costi, where we were able to assist the Italian immigrant and give them a job to learn a trade so they can find a job. And also, we were also using it as an employment place, trying to look on the ads to find ads where they are asking for manpower, to phone the employer and say, we have the man or the woman for you. That's what we were doing there.
Right. So that's a more triumphant story of the immigrant experience. Your recent work, the sequel to the memorial wall that's at Columbus Center, commemorating all of the fallen Italian workers, there's thousands of them that you came to find. What propelled you to look into the Italians who had lost their lives working?
Well, this has been some sort of an obsession with me for all my life, because it was really bothering me that people were dying on the job. And as a union leader, if the member, the person, the victim was a member of our union, was my duty to go to the funeral and also to give a Bible to the widow or the relatives, which was some consolation, but that's not what we wanted. And after that, soon it was forgotten. Nobody knew even the name of the person. And as I realized that there were so many people that died and nobody knew about it. So I said, we have to build a monument with their name on. And that's when I joined Sergio Tagliavini when he proposed the idea to build a monument, which is, we succeeded. The monument is in Woodbridge. It's a beautiful monument, but there is no names on it. And I wanted to have the names on. I knew that there were so many. So I finally were able to form a committee of volunteers and try to solicit donation to have a memorial built and try to find names. For 2 winters, I spent almost every day at Corriere Canadese. I used to be on Orphos and go through 1 page at a time since the first edition of 1954 to find the names of Italian workers killed on the jobs. And I start compiling a list. I tried to call the Workmen Compensation Board. I called the Ministry of Labor, say, give me the list of the name of the casualties that the person killed on the jobs in Ontario, and I can easily take the Italian names from them, because we want to put in a memorial. They said, we cannot do that because of the Privacy Act. So I said, we got to do it ourselves. And through the Corriere Canadese, I was able to find a few hundred names.
Wow.
And so we started. Columbus Center gave us the land where we built we erect our memorial. The Italian consul gave us his blessing, his support, in every way he could. And the architect Giannone and Patricone made the design. The problem is that we didn't even imagine there were so many. We knew there were many, but we had a memorial which has 11 columns. We were starting from the year 1900, go 10 years, another column from 1911 to 1920 and so forth, until the year 2000, which is open. So the 11th column was open, hoping we don't have to put any more names. The memorial has 1,230 names. It's full to capacity.
Wow.
We didn't even imagine that there were many more than that. After the unveiling in 2016, we have found another 2,000 names verified, ready to install, and the memorial, there's no space for it. So we have to think of maybe putting some granite slabs attached to the walls of Villa Colombo with a name engraved on it, or some other way. We'll have to touch.
Now, where can we purchase this book if we'd like to get a copy of this?
They can be bought online. I think there is a sticker with a. Do you have it there?
Oh, is it here?
Yeah, it can be bought online. Now we try to do the best we can. I even put in. I can't do any more, but I include this. This is my book. This is my experience as an Italian immigrant in Canada after the Second World War. It's my experience, and so is the experience of thousands and thousands of Italian immigrants. And I throw in that too for the same price. I'm not selling things here. I will do anything to make sure that every Italian family has a copy of this book on the coffee table, because this is our history. This is what we are. This is what we did. This is what we suffered. This is what we paid for. This is what we did for Canada. And the new generation don't know about it. They don't have a clue. They don't know, period. I wouldn't want to use, to paraphrase Gianni Lombardi, but I would say they became mangiacheche. This is a ingest thing to say, jesting mangiacheche, but we would like to keep them, to maintain a little bit of Italianità. La grinta that the Italian immigrants had, they have to continue, and they have every reason to be proud of the Italian origin. Italy did so much for the whole world, for the whole civilization, and they did so much for Canada. Canada did so much for us too. It gave us a future that we couldn't have in Italy. Our children have the opportunity here that we will never have in Italy. And we are grateful for that. We are very grateful. And we want to be as good Canadian, as proud Canadian, as we're good and proud Italian. We are proud to be Canadian, but we are also very, very proud of who we are as siamo Italiani. Thank you.
It's very beautiful, Marino. And speaking from this generation, I appreciate your story because it kind of ignites the Italian fire in me and helps me understand that, I find sometimes in our generation we tend to romanticize the journey of the immigrant to Canada. And if these stories remain unknown, I think there's an immense pride that's lost, an immense understanding for us to reach back to our roots and understand what it is to make homemade pasta or grow a garden and to work hard and to have that work ethic. So I'm so thankful that I can have this time with you and that we in the city of Brampton can have you living in our community to share with us. I just want to know what your most proud moment has been in all your decades of research. What has given you the most joy doing this work? Even though it's dark and challenging, what's the most beautiful moment or?
There is no better reward for me than receiving an email or a letter from the son, a daughter of an Italian farm worker, that they thank us for what we did to remember their father. And there are so many letters here from sons and daughters of Italian workers killed on the job that they attest to that. That to me was the best reward that one could possibly imagine. I hope that everybody reads this book. All the Italians will have a copy of it. You see stories that you couldn't believe that they happened, but they are true. They did happen.
Now, amidst the hardship, Marino, what was the climate like of community amongst the Italians? Amidst all the times of darkness, was there joy? What was the Italian?
Oh, it was, I remember when I was an organizer in the 60s, going door to door to sign up the workers, and you can smell the perfume of mosto. They were all making wine. Yeah, the one thing that the Italian community, and I think other community too, but I know about my own community, we were sticking together. If I had one thing, I lend it to you, you lend me some other thing. We were cooperating. And another thing, which is disappeared practically now, every Italian backyards didn't have a square foot that wasn't cultivated. And that will help a lot because they will get a lot of vegetable out of that little few square yards of garden. And in the springtime, you see the women out on the periphery of Toronto, picking up chicoria, and they store it. And every time you go and eat in an Italian house, they have good, healthy food, good natural food. And that's one thing that they had, that there was a sense of community. Oh yes, when Gianni Lombardi organized some singers from Italy, oh, you'll see Mercy Hall packed jam, or Maple Leaf Garden packed jam, or some other theater. That was the only joy that we had. It was like, I don't know, when you give a glass of water to a person dying of thirst, when you see this cantante, the singer, come from Italy and sing for us. It were hard times, but they were also good times. Things change. But whatever you do, my compatriots, please don't ever forget that you are Italian, and don't ever forget to be proud of being Italian. You have every reason for. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Marino. It's been such a pleasure, and I've enjoyed learning from you, and I will be taking this and learning about your life some more.
And read this one too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, unfortunately, this year we couldn't raise the flag with an audience. It has been such a privilege to be welcomed into your backyard of your home, to share with you and to learn from you, and to learn more about my heritage and my ancestors and all of these fallen workers. And hopefully next year we will all be celebrating Italian Heritage Month together as the city of Brampton. And thank you for your contribution to our city and our nation with all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for more information, please check out ItalianFallenWorkers.com.
What a great, touching story.
Yeah, it was. I can't tell you, Councillor, how emotional it was to be there. We spent over an hour. Obviously, Catherine leading the interview, and the rest of us kind of watching and getting emotional. And it was important. I felt that Catherine was the right person to have there because she'd studied so much of this work, and it's been a passion of hers as well. You know, over her career. And she was able to bring some relevant stuff to their conversation, stuff that we weren't able to get on tape, but it was really nice to hear. And one thing that they did touch on the interview, which was important, and Marino, for him, it's so important that he gets to see the younger generation carry on, not say his work, but this responsibility that, you know, we have to uphold for our ancestors who came here with nothing, no language, no money, but a trade and the desire to work. And he specifically says in there, we came to work. You know, he doesn't want us to forget that, and he wants us to realize that everything we have is due to their sacrifice. And so as young people and young parents, we do have that responsibility that, you know, we have to sober our families and our children to our ancestors and to carrying on this tradition. So it was, I'm just so happy that we have Marino as a resident, and can't wait to, right here in Brampton, can't wait to get these books in the Brampton Library.
For sure. No, it was definitely, there was a lot of passion there. It was one of the best interviews that I've ever had the pleasure of watching, and just the passion between the two of them and the conversation that was happening was really touching. You know, and we hope that you enjoyed this. We're taking a little bit of Italy, we're bringing it into your living rooms or wherever you're working through and getting through this pandemic that we're experiencing right now. And we really want you to support Shop Local. We have a number of Italian restaurants or places of business right here in Brampton. If we're talking about, you know, Hollywood Hair, the Rocco family, which they're fantastic, a fantastic business. We recognized them last year. There's a number of businesses that are right here in Brampton. We really want you to support local. We wanted to showcase some of the great Italian people from Brampton, in Brampton, to showcase those here now in front of you. We hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully everybody's staying safe during this troubled time. And thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for supporting. Thank you, Carmen, for doing all that. I'm sure you put on a couple extra pounds maybe here.
Well, I'm sitting like this for a reason, right? So.
And thanks for wearing your suit.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. It was a wonderful Italian Heritage Month. Hashtag support local Brampton. Hope to see you all again. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.